Well, good morning, everyone. Hope you had a pleasant evening watching Bitcoin climb. Just like I said yesterday in my post, I said Bitcoin is about to break out. And sure enough, overnight, it grew $3,000 to an all-time high, a new all-time high of just over $52,000 US. And look, if you haven't got in yet, if you haven't purchased any Bitcoin, don't worry. We're still pretty much at the beginning of this Bitcoin journey, I believe. And a lot of guys believe that are right into it, okay? The purpose of this video today is to show people. Let me tell you a story. I take Apollo for a walk every day. We go to the dog park and I meet up with a mate there. He's got a dog too, Skippy. And every day for months, this guy, my friend, Luke is his name, was telling me about Bitcoin, about the opportunity that we have right now, how the world's changing, how the monetary system is so compromised. It is so on such fragile ground, and that Bitcoin is rising. And he was just day after day, he was telling me why Bitcoin, is a smart bet. And eventually, because I had eyes, to see and I had ears to hear, it started to make sense and I acted. And I'm really glad I did because I got in, had a good time. And this is still a good time for you too. If you want to get in on Bitcoin and invest in Bitcoin, I believe the train has just left the station, and if you run, you can jump up on board and catch up. So don't feel like, oh gosh, it's already so high, it's already 52,000, because to be honest, that's how I felt when I got in under 20,000 US. I felt like, oh, I've missed an opportunity, but at the same time, I could see the potential of this thing as well. And so, yeah, be encouraged. There's plenty of growth left and it is still massively undervalued. There's so many big players that are lining up to get into this space. So why am I sharing with you? It's simply because if Luke didn't take the time to share with me, then I would have missed out. And so, I don't want to sit here on my own and grow rich through Bitcoin and have group members turn to me, in 6-12 months' time saying, Simon, why didn't you tell us about this opportunity? We could have got in on it, our lives would be forever changed too. So before we go any further, I need to make a disclaimer, okay? This is what I'm doing with my finances and it's working. There's plenty of people out there that know the industry better than me that you can get advice from, guys like Max Wright. You can go to YouTube, you can do your own research, and that's what I encourage you to do. I'm not a Bitcoin financial advisor of any sort of, in any shape or form. I'm just simply sharing you what I've learned in my journey and what's working for me. So saying that, let's get into basically how to set yourself up. Now, what I need to do is share my screen. Boom. All righty. So this is the exchange that I recommend. It's called Binance. In America, there is also a Binance exchange. It has a different URL to this one. But ultimately, Binance is one of the longest running and most trusted exchanges going. Okay, they have never had any issues with scams or shutting down or people losing their accounts through any fault of Binance. They also claim to have the lowest fees, which is around 1% per trade. Mind you, if you transfer money off the exchange back into your bank account or vice versa from your bank account into the exchange, there's no fees for that, 0 fees to transfer on and off the exchange. Only fees for purchasing and selling on the exchange. So I like that. That, that to me is a good deal. So, all right. So Binance, you want to basically be careful you go to the right link. Okay. So see here, there's a padlock symbol. That's the security. That's basically, you need to look for that. But if you want to be ultimately sure, what you should do, in fact, is leave a comment down below, and I will message you a special link. And now this is a referral link, so that I am basically inviting you to the legitimate Binance exchange. In doing so, we both get rewards, all right? And we'll split those rewards 50-50. It's a referral link. All exchanges have them. Many platforms, software platforms out there have referral, where you can invite people, and you can, either one of you or both of you can get rewarded for that. And in my case, I'm electing to have both of us rewarded 50-50. So in fact, you will actually profit from going through this link, as will I. So you want to be comfortable with that, but to me, it's a no-brainer. Otherwise, you can simply go to Binance.com and make sure that you are, in fact, on the secure site. Now, when you get to sign up, you will need to basically, that's pretty straightforward. You're just going to, provide your details, username, and a password. Now, to trade, they're going to need to verify you, and there are a few hoops to jump to do that. So you're going to have to follow the process that they ask from you, which is providing things like identification, a photo of yourself, whatever they're asking for, just you give it to them, and they'll approve you, and you can then trade. Just another thing too, once you do get onto the site, what I like to do is put a star or add it to your bookmarks, and that way, and you can even add it to a folder. So I have a folder called crypto where I've added it. And then what I do is every time I want to go to this exchange, I go to my bookmarks, I go into my crypto folder, and then I'll go to Binance, the Binance exchange. And that way I know I'm going to the correct URL, and I'm not being tricked, you see, to go to a fake URL where they're going to try and scam me. So that's just a little tip there for security purposes. Now, what else? It looks so confusing, so I just want to break it down real simply for you. There's only two things to this that I want to highlight today. And one is your wallet. So you go to your wallet here, and you can go overview. Now this will have basically your Australian dollar, how much you've got in here, all right? And you'll also have in Bitcoin as well. So 17,000 there, or 0.26261327 of a Bitcoin. That's what that means. That's how much that is in Bitcoin terms. All right. Now down here you have all your different assets. Oh, I must explain. So you've got Bitcoin, right? Which is the big daddy. It's like the main crypto going. That's really where you want to start. But apart from that, you've got altcoins, and really they are another form of crypto, but they have different purposes. They're really like little companies, and they serve different purposes. Whether that's Theta, which is decentralized broadband, or there's Monero, which its function is it's not traceable. Your transactions aren't traceable, or Ripple, which is XRP. It's basically used by banks because it's so quick, but it's like the bank's way of shifting money around. There's Doge, which has been quite prominent in the media because Elon Musk has been pumping that coin. It's more like a people's coin. It's got a bit of a cult following. So yeah, the main thing to know is that to get started, if you want to be safe and secure, and it's what we face now, which is a massive opportunity around, Bitcoin growing, is you just want to probably, if you're new, invest in Bitcoin and do it properly and hold your money there. What I did 3 years ago, in 2017, was I invested in Bitcoin, and then I got restless and I sold my Bitcoin and I bought into altcoins, and those altcoins absolutely fell to the floor. They just plummeted, and I lost fortunately only about $2,000. But yeah, I learned a lesson, and that was you've got to be careful with which ones you invest in. Bitcoin definitely has the bulk, of my investment right now, and that is simply because, one, I see it as the most bullish long term. I see it as the most secure long term, and we are in a bull run cycle this year in 2021 for Bitcoin. So that's why most of my money is in Bitcoin. All right, so that is your wallet. Up the top here, you have deposit, withdraw, and transfer. So simply, if you want to, once you set up your account, you're going to need to deposit funds into this exchange to trade, to buy. So what you'll do is you'll click on deposit cash, or you can even do it with a credit card, which is another option. And okay, so the quickest and best way is this Pay ID OSCO. All right, it's a zero fee, it's quicker, and what it basically does is Pay ID OSCO pays to an email address. Okay, so what you're doing is you're sending the funds from your account to an email address, which is the Binance email address. And when you go to do that the first time, the Binance exchange will give you that email address. So make sure that you've got correct currency. Click the option there, if that's the way you want to do it, Pay ID. Enter the amount you want to deposit. Okay, see that? No fee, no fee. So you'll get $1,000, and then you'll click continue. What's going on? Okay. So here we go. So it says, please transfer using your bank app or online banking to the account below. So there's your Pay ID. That's the email address I'm telling you about. So you copy that there, and you will then, and make sure that you've got Binance Australia too as the recipient company name. And then you will go into your own online banking, and you will make a Pay ID deposit or withdrawal from your own bank, I should say, a withdrawal. And you will send it to this email address. Pretty simple. If you need instructions on how to do that, contact your own bank and ask them, how do I do a Pay ID? Okay, if they don't support Pay ID, well, then you might want to try another bank. There's also credit card options there to deposit into your Binance account. But the way it works with ANZ, I remember, is you will go pay anyone, all right, and then from there it will give you the option for a pay ID, an email withdrawal. So that's pretty straightforward. Your first deposit may take a day or two. I'm not quite sure. I can't quite remember how long it took. I don't think it was that long, to be honest. The first one always is the longest though. Okay, so bear that in mind. You know, it might even take you a couple of days to get this set up and to get money into the account, because you also have to have your verification, your ID approved by Binance, which is part of the process. All right, so that's it, pretty straightforward. Also, just to be extra secure, you will also be able to go into security and set up Google authentication, which you get an app on your phone. And what happens is every time you go to do something significant like withdraw or deposit funds, it'll ask you for the Google authentication code, which you then go into your Google authentication, which you download from apps, and you get that code and you pop it in into where they're asking for it. And then another layer of protection too is SMS authentication, I should say, and also email address as well. So get both of those set up, and you know, it just adds more security to this, because basically people have been hacked in the past, and it's because one, they may have a weak password, but then also these things here, like this Google authentication, really needs to be another layer of security to log into this every time. So that, say if someone cracks your password, well then they still need the Google authentication to get in. I'll cover this again at the end, because I just want to make sure that I've really highlighted just a couple of areas that people come unstuck and fall down. But yeah, look, that's just security. So basically, I'm just reminding you of two things here, and that's the overview of the wallet. And the second one is the markets, where you actually buy and sell, and we'll get to that in a minute. But within the overview here of your wallet, you've got the ability to deposit, to withdraw. Withdraw is very, very simple. It's just a bank transfer, Australian dollars. Put in the amount there of Australian dollars you want to transfer back to your account, and it will ask for your personal bank account, you know, US BSB account number. You provide that, and you, it says here it may take 2 to 3 business days, but I found for me, first time, it was actually instant. It was an instant transfer. So that's another thing people get hung up on with Bitcoin. They're like, oh, if my money's in Bitcoin, it'll be stuck there, and can I get it out whenever I want? Well, the answer is yes, quite simply. It's just as simple as a straight transfer. And of course, again, the first one will take the longest, the first time you do a withdrawal. So sometimes it pays just to withdraw, say, you know, $5 or something like that, just to make sure that it's functioning correctly, and get a gauge on the time frame, get comfortable with that, so that when you do want to go to withdraw, you know, some serious funds, then you can do that quickly. All right, the second thing, and lastly, that I want to show you about Binance is the markets. So this is really where you buy and sell, and there's hundreds of different cryptos here. Okay, but the one that we're talking about today is Bitcoin. So BTC is the abbreviation for Bitcoin. So you put that in, and you want to follow it up with your currency. So I'm in Australia, which is AUD. So I'll type BTC AUD, and there it is. Click on that. and we're inside the market to buy and sell Bitcoin with Australian dollars. So two parts to this. Again, it looks pretty heavy, but I'm just going to cover the real basics. So there's two parts to this. You've got your live charts here. This is your trading chart. And here is where you can buy or sell. So see, here we have candles. These bars here, okay, there's green ones and there's red ones. They're called candles. The green ones is where it's moving up. The red ones, it's moving down. And each bar represents 1 hour. So you can see here, I've set it at 1 hour. I could change it though to, 1 month if I wanted to. So that's what's happened in a month. Look at that, straight up. That's where I got in, right here. And you're right here. So what will it look like in another month? So here we go back to 1 hour. Now, yesterday, when I posted that Bitcoin is going to break out, it's imminent, we were sitting right about here. Yeah, about here. And it's just gone whoop, straight up. About $3,000. Okay, $3,000 or $4,000 overnight. So that basically shows you where we're at. Sometimes you'll try to buy in a dip, okay? But look, we're right now, I believe that, we'll put it this way. When it gets to $200,000 Bitcoin, you're not really going to care whether you got in on a dip and say, got in and like, say 67,500 or it was 62,500. You're not going to care. The main thing is that you get in, I believe, because you just don't want to be left behind. Say if this gets to 100 and you're still waiting for a dip, that would be a far bigger thing to have to deal with, I believe. So, okay, there's your bar chart. Down here, this is buy and sell. This is called market cap. So these green bars are purchasing. This is selling. And that just gives you an indication there on market cap. And here is where you buy and sell. So you've got really two options I want to talk about. You've got three, but I just want to talk about two. Limit is you set the price you want to buy at. So currently that's the market price, 67,500. But say if you want to buy in when it drops to 65,000, you think it's going to drop, so you put in 65,000, fine, okay? And you've got $1,000 to invest. There you go. You're all set. You press buy, and that will open an order for you to buy at 65,000. If you want to check that, then you go to orders, go to spot order, and then you will see that order open, waiting to be filled. All right. The other option you have is to go to market. Now, this will simply purchase your Bitcoin at the market price as it is right now. And then you can buy. All right. If you don't want to muck around, you just want to get in, then you'll do that. Pretty simple. All right, let's talk about when you sell. So same deal. You will be able to sell at market price, okay? And you can put in the amount of Bitcoin you want to sell, however much that might be. 0.02 is about $1,000 worth. All right. You can also move this along here, and that will determine like what percentage of your Bitcoin you want to sell that you actually hold. So if you want to sell 100%, you'll put it at 100, or you can go as low as whatever you like, say 10% there. So that's pretty straightforward. Okay, you're selling at market price, and you just put in the amount you want to sell, and then you click sell. Or like before, you can sell at a limit price. So you would put in the price you want to sell at. Say, we're currently around the $67,000 mark. You want to sell at 70,000. Then you'll put in 70,000. Same then again. Put in the amount of Bitcoin you want to sell. And then you'll click sell. And that will open again an order, a sale order. And you can click here and you'll find that order. So that is how to buy and sell Bitcoin. Of course, once you've done that, once you've bought, you'll go to your wallet, you'll go to overview. And once that's been filled, then you will see in your balance the amount of Bitcoin that you've purchased. And that will come up here. Pretty straightforward. Once you have a lot of money here, right, you may want to take it off the exchange, and that's where hardware wallets come in. So a hardware wallet's basically like a USB, but especially for crypto. What it does, it takes it offline, and that crypto goes into a hardware wallet, which you keep on you physically. All right, so no one can hack it. It's in this hardware wallet, and it's safe, provided you don't lose the hardware wallet. There are ways to back that up too. You get a seed with passcodes. Okay, so if you do lose your actual hardware wallet, you can go to the company like Trezor or whoever you bought your hardware wallet from and give them the codes and then recover your Bitcoin or crypto that way too. Alrighty, so guys, that is pretty much how to do it. Let me know what you think in the comments, exactly what you got out of this, if it's valuable, if I'm just talking to myself or people actually value this kind of like instruction. I've just tried to make it really simple because I know how overwhelming this can be when you first start to get into it. But yeah, it is a lot of fun, especially when you start profiting. So there we are. So now I just want to talk about two quick things, two warnings really that could derail your, this process for you. These are pitfalls really that people fall into that can cost them a lot of money. They could lose all their Bitcoin, right? The first one is around security, and I've showed you how to safeguard that, right? So you want to make sure that you're not being hacked. You want to make sure you've got a strong password, one that you're not using for every other thing, right? Make sure that it's a very complex password. I've actually subscribed to a company called Password One, which is password number one, and they give you, like, you subscribe to them and they give you these elaborate passwords, and it's all systemized to the point where you just have it set up and you can click a button and this elaborate password goes in that this function has remembered, so that, it's so hard for people to crack your passcode because it's not on your browser, or it's not hackable. So that is just a tip that you may want to look into, especially once you start to accumulate a bit of money. You will actually want to get more and more secure. But the main things to remember are going to an authentic URL, and I can give you the code, the direct link for that, a referral link, and you'll log in that way, and then you'll get basically you know, you want to bookmark that link, put it in a folder, and make sure that every time you're going to that link. All right. And then, of course, you want to have at least a two-step login process. So not just password, but Google Authenticator as well. You'll set that up by downloading the app. And every time you log in, you'll be putting in a code that you get from Google Authenticator, and you'll put it in the space that it's asking for on the exchange. The second point I'll make, okay, because another pitfall people often fall into is they are too emotional. They make quick and flippant decisions. They're not patient, and they lose out big that way. So prime example could be you buy in at 65,000, right? When that, I'm talking Australian dollars now, 65,000 Australian, Bitcoin's at, you put in $1,000 worth, or 10,000 or 50 or whatever it is. And then overnight, Bitcoin plummets 10% or even 20%, or like back in January, it plummeted, I think, nearly 30%, which was, you know, it happens. Bitcoin can be volatile, so you've got to be comfortable with that. But the fact is, you only lose if you sell, right? So you don't want to do that, all right? Especially if, you know, it is below what you purchased in it. So you need to hold your nerve, and you need to be confident in the market and understand that it can be volatile, all right? And that, you know, do your research, understand why on a long-term level, this is one of the best investments going, why there's so much confidence in Bitcoin, and hold true to your plan. So you need to have a plan, a strong plan, right? My plan for 2021 is faith, business, and crypto. And so I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I've also got my faith. I've also got my business. And so, you know, I wouldn't invest more than I'm prepared to lose. I mean, that's the number one rule of any investment. Saying that, you know, you're almost guaranteed to make a profit on this if you do it properly and hold and don't sell in a downward market. But overall, right now, this year is a massive bull run. You know, we are heading towards, well, last night we hit an all-time high. There are guys like Max Wright, which I encourage you to look these guys up. They know the subject a lot better than I do. What I'm good at is talking plain English, I believe, and just, you know, giving you what worked for me and how to really, you know, focus on the nuts and bolts of setting this up properly. But strong plan. You know, and you will not be emotional, and you will not be kind of prone to making knee-jerk decisions such as selling in a downward market, or even, you know, shifting to some coin that you're not sure about, that could be you know, that doesn't hold the same level of prospect that a Bitcoin type investment holds. So security and plan strong, you know, have a strong plan. That's my advice. Get educated. Make sure that you are researching, that you are listening to people who know the industry. There are champions of crypto who have made millions and are making millions and understand it in every way, shape, or form. The people that bag it, who knock it, are typically people who don't understand it. They haven't been investors themselves, and usually they're threatened by it. So if someone is bagging it, you've got to ask yourself why. Why are they bagging this? You know, this this asset class that has outperformed gold and silver for 10 of the last 12 years. And if they're into stocks in a heavy way, like Warren Buffett, well, then there you go. There's a clue. But you got guys like Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad guy. He's all in on Bitcoin. He's all in on it. But yeah, this is, I believe, the greatest opportunity is gold rush. It is our gold rush of our lifetime. It's probably the greatest opportunity everyone has ever had on a fair level, on a fair playing ground to capitalize, especially in these early stages. And so it was too good to keep to myself. That's why I'm sharing it with you. I'm still very much into business, into coffee. I think in this day and age, it's one of the strongest things you can do towards ensuring your own security, your own freedom, is getting into your own business, creating your own economy. But look, you set yourself up with crypto, right, as well. And, you may be funding the entire thing through the profits from your investment. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Like, comment, share, and, if you want more like this, more videos like this on Bitcoin, if it's a subject you're interested in and you get into this and start making money, you'll be very interested, trust me. Then let me know. And also remember to message me or put a comment below if you want that referral link. Awesome, guys. Stand by for now. See you back in the group. Cheers.